We thought we'd start today, since it's almost Christmas time, with Yule Log Cake, which I've never had the opportunity to make, and I thought it would be fun to try it.
Yeah,
So,
this
cheers.
is our Christmas episode. Okay, so for this recipe, you're going to need the following ingredients.
For the cake, you'll need 6 eggs, 1 box of Betty Crocker Super Moist Devil's Food Cake Mix, half a cup of water, a 1/4 cup of vegetable oil, and 1 tablespoon of powdered sugar. For the frosting, you'll need a half a cup of whipping cream, 1 cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips, 1 tablespoon of corn syrup, and a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla.
Not only are you going to need those ingredients, but what you're going to need equipment-wise is what? So you're going to need
This is a jelly roll pan.
a jelly roll pan, aka a 10 by 15 inch.
Yes,
cookie
and the
sheet.
reason why you need it is because if you use a regular cookie sheet, it's going to roll out too thin. You need it thick enough, but you also don't want it too little. So I, went out and bought this one because I couldn't find my other one.
That's one way to do it. So you're also going to need parchment paper, wax paper, and you're going to need some non-stick spray, as well as what else we have. Obviously an oven, right?
Yes, you need an oven.
Mixing
bowl.
Mixing
Need a
bowl.
mixer.
And a mixer. Could you use a KitchenAid mixer?
Yes.
If you had one?
But I didn't want to bring it over yet. Yes.
So the idea with this is like our mom mentioned, is that once you've got the cake baked up, you have to roll it. So in order to have something to pick it up with, that's where the paper comes in.
Yeah, so you want it a little longer than on each side. It doesn't say that, but you want it longer on each side, or else you're not going to be able to grab it and
Pick
roll
it up, right.
Okay. So then now in a large bowl, we're going to beat eggs with an electric mixer on high speed, about 5 minutes or until thick and lemon colored. And then you add the cake mix, so I've already messed up because I put the cake mix in here. That's why we're doing it. This is the first time. So
see, my mom usually doesn't. She just does things, and I'm always about let's follow the directions to a T.
Yeah. So I haven't read the directions through. I did read them through once, but okay.
So the real.
So
first
now
step
we have
would
to
be
take this
read all the
out
directions.
of this and put it. We could probably put it on here.
I mean, let's not get crazy.
Okay.
Let's get a bowl.
Let's get a bowl. Oh, is that funny? It's Betty Crocker bowl.
Yeah. We're not sponsored by Betty Crocker.
But it seems like
or anybody else, for that matter.
Okay. That's good enough. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's got a little bit of the brown in it. It doesn't matter. Okay, so now we're going to crack these eggs. You need a total of 6 eggs, but I always like to crack them into a glass first so you can see if there's any shells. Okay. Now we're going to mix. You're not going to use all the batter that you make for the cake. All the batter that you're making.
Why they say to make that much? Just because that's how much comes with the cake mix box?
Yeah, that's what comes with the cake mix box. So then it's talking about doing the 8 regular size muffin cups, and I'm like, why? What are we making muffins? No, we're not. So, but they're just saying that you pour only 3.5 cups of this batter that you're going to make into the pan.
Okay. And the reason, again, is because they're asking you, or the recipe calls for a box of the Betty Crocker mix. Mm-hmm. That's for a full cake. That's too much for this recipe.
Then we add the cake mix, the water and the oil. So now let's do the oil since we got this empty anyway right now. And we'll do, in the oil, it's a 1/4 cup.
Got the 1/4 cup. It's going in. What else do we need?
Now we need 1/2 cup of water.
Half a cup of water's going in?
Yep.
Okay.
I don't know what the big difference. 1 tablespoon of powdered sugar can make.
Versus, yeah. Seems like a small
Gotta
amount.
have it.
See, this is somewhere typically my mom would just not listen to the recipe, but I'm a big fan of just do what
1
it says,
tablespoon.
right?
What's
do
it
what the
gonna
recipe
do?
says.
1 tablespoon. Okay.
Is that the way you're supposed to do it, right? Or heaping? I guess it doesn't say heaping, so you want to
It
level
doesn't say heaping, but that's
Right.
what I would do.
You want to put the cake mix in.
Okay,
So now something like this, does it tell you to put it in slowly and all at once, or what?
No, it doesn't. Well, this doesn't. This doesn't matter. Some of them do. Some of them. Now we're going to just mix this up. And you beat it on low speed 30 seconds, then on medium speed for 1 minute.
Cake mix is in. Now we're going to put it on what? 30 seconds
30
slow.
seconds on low. And a minute on...
And then a minute on high.
medium.
Minute on medium.
Say that's medium.
So it's pretty high for medium, but I'll take your word for it.
Okay, that's medium.
There we go.
Jay's scraping the edges in the bottom. Just get up from the bottom. In the bottom of this bowl is a little edge. It's sort of like it always sits in the extra flour and stuff. You got to make sure to just get that. Okay. Now we're just going to, so you have to spray the pan. Spray the paper, I mean.
Okay, now we're spraying the paper. And this is just, just regular pan coating spray, nonstick spray. You say lightly spray or what? What am I doing here?
Yeah, lightly. Okay, that's good.
This is 1
and
cup.
The whole thing right to that is a cup, right? We're going to have to do it 3.5 times. The reason they don't want you to overfill it because you can't roll it. That's the
that's
problem.
what I'm saying. But so we'll see how much is left over. If there's enough, then they're not just lying to us. I don't know why they would.
Why would
That's what I always try to tell my mom.
Why would Betty Crocker lie to us?
Yeah, why would Betty Crocker lie to us? Why would the people that make recipes tell you to do something if there wasn't a reason? A little bit more.
Okay. Probably shouldn't have a huge bowl. Where
what's that? That's just 3 then, right?
That's 3 now. See? Look
now,
at there's a lot left.
I'm wondering how much is not.
Yeah, I know. That's of course you would wonder that.
So we're getting a little.
Let me scrape that
let's
out.
put a little bit more.
I'll
scrape it out each time, but since we haven't, put a little bit more in this last half. We'll do a little.
No, that's the way I measure stuff.
No. Well, no, because I'm trying to make up for the inefficiency.
Okay, let me see. It's hard to pour this. Okay, so this is the half. Let's just do a whole cup, right?
Stop. No. What do you mean? Why would we do... This looks right for this size pan, right? This is the size pan they told you to use.
I don't know. Let's scrape out what's in there. Jay's going to scrape out the cup. So 3.5 cups they want for the cake, and that's it. Okay? And that's what it looks like. Doesn't really look full at all. Wow. Okay, good. It'll even out too while it bakes. Doesn't seem like enough.
I think it's supposed to be thin. That's the point. How much do we have left over? Let's see.
That's what we have left. So it is enough.
It's a little bit. I mean,
it's supposed to be enough to make 8 regular sized muffin cups.
Well,
I don't think
I
it's
don't know
that,
about that
much. Betty could be lying to us there.
Well, maybe she's exaggerating.
Okay, so we baked this 14 to 16 minutes, or that's not very long at all. So it's thin. Okay, let's bake this off because the biggest part of this whole thing is rolling it when it's hot.
Baking this at 350 because we have a non-stick pan.
Right.
For 14 to 16 minutes. And we're going to test it to see if it's done.
And what do you say? Start at 14 and look at it.
Right. And
instead of what I would normally
My mom would put it in the oven and take a nap,
not
not set a timer, and come back and,
With the leftover batter, we ended up getting 4 cupcakes, not 8 like the recipe says.
To make the rich chocolate frosting, we'll add 1/2 cup of heavy whipping cream. We'll bring this to a boil by microwaving for 1 minute. Once it's boiled, we'll take 1 cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips and mix it into the mixture. Now we add 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla and 1 tablespoon of corn syrup. Once completely mixed together, we'll store in the fridge for 1 hour, mixing every 15 minutes to create an even consistency.
Okay, our cake is out of the oven, and now we're going to, it says a tablespoon of this powdered sugar. I decided to use a pillowcase, plain
So the
pillowcase.
pillowcase is nice and smooth, so that hopefully won't stick to the cake as much.
This is going to be the hard part. Okay, so we're going to bring this out, and it said to do it upside down. So flip it upside down.
Okay.
I'll flip the cake like this.
Flip it. Ooh.
Okay, then it says we'll take hot. And then it says to take off the tin foil. You carefully take off the tin foil. We used wax paper. So we're going to carefully take off the wax paper, which is, I think, carefully, because we did spray it, so it did be a little bit off, but it's okay. See how hot it is?
It's not bad.
Not bad.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
and
they
now
did
it
say to do this
says,
stuff while it was hot, right?
now you say you have to do it while it's hot. Now
Now
your
you roll
idea is you think you keep the
That's
towel
definitely the way
inside.
they're saying. So you're going to roll it with the towel, because the idea is that the towel is going to allow it to cool
I don't know.
and not have the cake stick together.
Well, we'll see. We're rolling it now
just going for
while
it,
it's
okay.
hot.
All right.
Right?
And this
You
is
have
too
to
where you
while
can
it's
kind of
hot.
see. Well, this is too where you can kind of see where you didn't want it to be super thick, right?
Right, you have
That's probably
to
why
roll.
they didn't want to use the whole cake batter.
So hopefully it didn't. Now you have to cool this for an hour
be
on a
careful
baking
now.
rack.
Be careful with it now.
Okay.
Um,
So we'll get a baking rack and we'll cool this now for an hour. So once it cools, we're going to, every 15 minutes, we're going to have to stir our frosting
right.
in there.
And I think just when we looked at the recipe and we saw, I mean, I don't know why they didn't tell you to just buy, right, a chocolate version of this for the outside frosting. It would have been
I know.
easier.
But every 15 minutes now we have to
Yeah.
check the frosting, stir it, and make sure it gets to smoothing consistency.
frosting consistency.
That's the outside frosting.
But
This
if you
is
want
the
an easier
inside.
way, probably just buy
This is the
a
filling.
chocolate one.
Yes,
This
you
is the
could.
filling. Probably could have bought a chocolate, filling, or
Mhm.
I'm sorry, chocolate frosting for the outside instead of making it. But if it's fun to make it, or if you want to make it,
Yeah.
if you wanted to, you probably could have
It's
added
actually-
less sugar to that one if you don't like how sweet store-bought frosting is.
It's a nice recipe, actually. So, but in the meantime, this is going to be when this is all cool, we're going to lay this out flat, fill it with this, re-roll it. It's going to be cool.
Re-roll it without the towel at that point, right?
Without
Obviously.
the towel, but we're going to put this frosting in it, and then we're going to frost it with the chocolate frosting.
Yeah, and that's probably where you could get even more creative if you wanted to. We're just going to follow the recipe, but I mean, really, with the filling, you could put chocolate chips in it, or fruit in it, or probably whatever
Right. You could put anything
in the frosting when you're rolling it up.
jelly or cherry filling, whatever. Probably
That'll
anything
get
you
crazy.
want.
But we're to stick with the basics for this first time. It's our first time ever making it, so.
Yep. Yeah, the cake is cool now, and we're going to roll it out. The next directions are to roll it out, take the towel out of it.
So do you want to roll
So
it off
we're
this then, or?
We're going to roll it, let's
it
take it
off
off the cooling rack. We're going to frost it on this, on our original baking sheet. We're going to frost it on this. So let's see what it looks like now. That's kind of cool. Okay.
So we're talking about it too. This recipe has what, 6 eggs?
Yeah.
And that's way more than you'd have in a box of cake if you just did the cake recipe. Wait, we have to frost it first.
I know,
before
but
we
I got to
roll
put it,
right?
I got to take the towel out.
Well, do we need to take the towel out right now? I mean,
You're going to frost it with the towel on it?
okay.
Okay.
Well, just take it off carefully.
Okay, so we're going to carefully take the cake. You might take the towel out. Okay.
But
so
what
now
we're
we
saying
just
is
have
we
the
think the eggs are, to what, make it a little bit more easy to roll?
Right. If you were making this regular cake recipe off the box, it would just be 3 eggs.
Right. So it's
We
double
use
the
6
amount of
eggs for this. So for 6 eggs, that's like the only difference, though.
Right.
That's the only. Now, if I was frosting a regular chocolate cake, I'd use the spoon usually, and then so you can do like this, because you don't want crumbs in your frosting. But this is inside the cake,
So it doesn't
so
matter.
it won't matter. Right.
I mean, you still don't want to.
You're gonna have little
You don't want to make
crumbs.
a huge mess.
Right. So I usually put the spoon in there, and then you're going to take. So you're basically going to frost the inside now, and put this frosting on the inside, and then we're going to roll this back up and frost the outside with our chocolate frosting that we brought out of the fridge. So I think the reason why we said that you don't just use their chocolate frosting is because the corn syrup that's added to that frosting will probably make it stay on the cake better because it's a round cake.
All right, now we're gonna roll it up.
Roll it up.
From this side, or?
I think so.
Okay. Was that the side of?
It doesn't probably matter.
It's kind of a weird feeling.
Try to roll it like a sleeping bag, as tight as you can.
Oh, see, I'm getting a little.
It's okay because we're gonna cover it with frosting. My mom used to say.
It's such a weird feeling to try to roll a cake and.
Yeah, maybe not too tight.
Together because it looks like it's.
My mom used to say that frosting covers a myriad of mistakes.
How are we looking on that side?
Looks good. I think it looks great.
How can we move it without it being all...
Okay, we're only going to move it to the middle of this because we're going to frost it now. Okay.
Yeah, so you can see, I mean, it kind of comes apart a little bit on you, but as long as you don't get any major breakage. Ooh, be careful with that.
I think maybe put it like that. Okay.
Put it on the fold.
Let's see. Show that. That's it. Now we're going to frost it just like you would probably frost any cake, although I remember frosting.
Except for that's the thing, it's got the roundness on it. And honestly, because this frosting is so thick.
Super thick.
And I think the reason it's thick was with the corn syrup and so that it sticks onto the side. Really thick. Well, it's starting to come together.
Yeah. It takes a little patience. And you're going to be moving it around. Now it says you take the tines of the fork and...
So this is what we got right now. Honestly, it looks like a big ho-ho. That's what it reminds me of. If it tastes like one, I'm a fan.
It's December here, and we have mint from the garden still in December because mint is a weed.
So what you did is you took this mint and you just put a little powdered sugar on it?
Our Christmas Yule Log.
Alright, so this is what we're left off with. This is the Betty Crocker recipe for a Christmas Yule Log. I think it came out pretty good. What do you think?
I think it came out great.
Right? Aesthetically wise.
I'm surprised.
We don't know how it tastes yet. Right?
I think it's going to take like a regular cake mix.
Yeah.
Wow, spongy.
Pretty thick,
huh?
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. It looks like a ho-ho to me.
It does. It looks just like a ho-ho.
It's hard to cut.
It's a little spongy feeling.
Bon appetit.
A little bit of the filling, a little bit of frosting.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
It tastes like a ho-ho.
I was gonna say, like, I don't know if it's just my mind telling me, because it
Tastes
looks
like a
exactly like
ho-ho.
one, but it tastes like
Because-
just like a ho-ho.
Oh my gosh. That's funny.
It tastes just like a ho-ho.
It does. Wow.
It's good though.
Good.
Thanks for watching.
We'd like you to join us next time when we make our next recipe.